needs to stop. Hello, you gorgeous donuts. People are breastfeeding their boyfriend as play, and I'm a little bit worried. Today we're going to have a look at Channel 4's documentary where they cover two couples that do the very thing I've just said. Now I want us to go on a journey in this video to try and understand, and hopefully at the end of this video we can see from their point of view why they do this. But I guess we're going to have to wait until the end to find out.
We want to be the best known people in the adult breastfeeding market.
I mean, we're off to a bagger straight away. You know, what a first line. Also, is that really a goal that you know, is that really something that you really set out to do? It's a very niche goal, I guess, right? Every goal's a goal, I guess. We want to be the biggest in the adult breastfeeding niche. That is, I think you probably are. There's only like 5 people in the room with you, surely. Surely you're on like first name basis, everyone knows each other, you see each other at the Christmas parties. Can't wait to stick that goal on me vision board.
The taste can change depending on what she eats, but for the most part, it tastes a bit like cool cereal milk. So milk with a little bit of sugar in it.
They're actually showing him. We can't show this, but they're, you know, he's giving it a real, you know, good suck there, bless him. I've stopped it on the worst possible freeze frame here. I believe this documentary kind of covers 2 different couples as they talk about why they do this. And I do find it intriguing because straight away you're kind of like gobsmacked at why they would ever do this. But I wonder if this does offer both the people in the relationship some comfort. I don't know. I'm intrigued.
We get hundreds and hundreds of messages on social media. I wish my wife would do this. I've had days where like I've been speaking to a fan and like I can feel their loneliness.
That's sad. Could you imagine, you know, the ladies out there right now watching this video in the comfort of your own home? Just take a look to the side of you, hopefully, or unhopefully, you might be happily single. Anyway, if you have a partner there, just look at him. There's a possibility that he's dropped a message to someone. I just wish you would let us. Why won't you let us? I'm sick of oat milk. I just want some alternative milk. I'm sick of oat milk. Why can't you just contribute to my latte in the morning? I don't get it. The one thing I find interesting is how do people, you know, develop this as a thing they want to do? Like, surely they've got it from somewhere. You're not just born with liking this, unless it is in the back of your mind from being a child that you find comfort in, you know, doing that. So then in your adult life you don't know why you like it, but it might be from a child. Again, I have no idea. I'm just trying to build the connections here.
I hope you're thirsty.
Oh my god, I just want to get home.
In public? If I walked past this couple and I heard them say that, I was like, oh, they're probably right, they're gonna have a bottle of wine with each other tonight. Right, stick the chase on, answer some questions. No, something a lot more niche, you could say.
Tip and Button live on the east coast of America.
Kind of, you know, it's kind of fitting that one of them's called Tip. It's Tip and Button. That is such a like an iconic duo. Tip and Button. That sounds like a magician duo. Oh yeah, Tip and Button are just gonna come here and chop a body in half and put it back together. Tip and Button. What a name.
He knelt before me and he latched, and as soon as the milk came, it was just this instant reaction that almost swept me off my feet. Literally, I almost fell over because you were just clutching me to you and making these little noises in the back of your throat.
Trying to stick with this, guys, right? Stick with me. Okay, I'm trying to latch onto this, you could say, but, you know, it's tough at times. Wait, so he went out on one day. So, you know, at the time, was she maybe going, oh my god, I'm getting proposed to? Like, he's there. And instead of just opening up a box, he's like...
Come here, please!
He went down on one knee. What? Set the camera up and everything. Make sure you know, he got the first time there. It's the fact the camera zooms in on his face and he's just so smug. This man took initiative that day.
The moment you had the milk on your tongue,
It was like I was waiting for it.
The way she was talking there was very passionate, and it seems like she sees this as like an action of love. Like, she likes that she's wanted in a way, like, by him. Like, this is the way that he showed that. It seems like this is a positive experience for her as well.
I mean, people just came out of the woodwork just saying, please, can we have more stuff like this, because we can't find it anywhere.
So they kind of were like the trailblazers in the, you know, breastfeeding your boyfriend niche. That's amazing. They're like the... You know, the LeBron James of this niche. They're like the Gregs of pastries. You know, like, they really changed this. I do find the concept of, like, you possibly knowing this couple and then they upload this video randomly just to their Facebook page. It would take you by surprise a little bit. Like, imagine, I don't know, like, one of your mum or dad's friends just, like, posted a video like this onto their Facebook. You'd be like, whoa! Alright, you see what Andy and Angela's doing? Have those been doing that? I guess you never know what goes on behind closed doors, do you? I mean, they're not really hurting anybody with this, are they? They're not kind of making it about being a child and doing it. Like, the guy isn't acting like a baby. It just, the kind of concept of it does take you back, though. Not take you back. Like, take you back. Not like, oh, back in the good days. Anyway, they wouldn't even be good. I don't know what days. They would be the days of being...
Their original adult breastfeeding video has been viewed over 300,000 times.
300,000 times. There's 300,000 people, or arguably like 100,000 people that have all watched it 3 times. It's amazing. Like, it's just wild that so many people would be like, yeah, this is what I want. Like, I'm not mocking it. I'm not like shaming anyone for what they like, but it's just like, it's just wild that people are kind of, you know, consuming content that you would never even think of being possible.
People think it's a life kind of thing, but it's not a it's part of our lives, it's part of our relationship. But the only way to share that with anybody is through a porn site.
So that's interesting. So they don't see it as like a thing, but they have to post it to that website because that's the only place they can post it. Now, I don't know if they're kind of lying to themselves, because there is other mediums you can post on that allow that sort of content that isn't, you know, in a way. Obviously, they will make money off the website they've just mentioned. So I don't know if that's why they post it to that through the ad revenue. Weird one. I'm intrigued though. I don't know. I'm kind of scared.
I'm not into normal girls. Onwards, we started feeling like a really deep connection. Like we knew each other from a past life, and since then we've been together.
We both just were into all the same things.
You know, we had similar interests. We like, you know, going to the cinema. We like, you know, Chinese food. You know, feeding each other. You know, just the normal stuff that everyone does.
I saw a few photos of her looking pregnant. And she looked so beautiful being pregnant. And I masturbated that day to that photo.
Sorry? Oh, sorry, I was just gonna glaze over. Nah, not use that word. Are we just gonna you know, go past that one? Let's just go back to what he just said there. He saw her pregnant. By the way, they'd only, you know, this is the first time he's ever seen this photo before. They're not, like, together at this point, I don't believe. And he just went, just gonna, I'll just have a quick, what? Ladies, okay, you're speaking to a man for 1, maybe 2 days. You know, you end up getting with them, being with them, you know, you're in a relationship. How would you feel if you knew that the first time they looked at your photos, they just, you know, just out of one? Like, especially the one where you were pregnant. How would that make you feel? Genuinely, let me know.
That is connected to the adult feeding, because obviously when she was pregnant, she was full of milk. That was a big turn on.
Maybe I'm just kind of, you know, over-analysing this, but I feel like the way he talks about her isn't like she's a woman. He's just like, yeah, just first time I see it, like, not a woman, like a person, you know? Like, it's like, he's like, oh yeah, she's the best when she's pregnant because she's like full of milk. Like, what? Sounds like you're speaking about a cow or something. Yeah, it's just, you know, just gallons of it. God, give Cravendale a run for its money.
Following a rigorous pumping schedule, she's also taking milk-inducing supplements, available over the counter in Spain.
I really hope she, you know, this is what she wants as well, because she's taking actual tablets, like prescription medicine, so that she's able to, you know, pump milk. And obviously it's not for her son, who they said was born 4 years ago. Like, he's not going to need that anymore, hopefully. Like, this is just for Sean. Is he only with, you know, her because of the whole milk situation? Would he be with that if you know, she wasn't producing milk? That's what I want to know, because so far it looks like possibly no. This is all he kind of seems to use her for.
The most important thing was to have the motion of suckling, so I asked Sean to help me with that.
Of course, he would bloody be there. First in the queue, he'd come overnight, He'd come overnight in his own home, if he had to.
I just can't wait to get some milk.
After 10 long weeks, the wait is over.
Oh, they're lovely. Aren't they just lovely? Sean, oh, he's a keeper, him. Tell you, he's a keeper, that Sean. Like, he's great, isn't he? He's great. See, this seems more like he's doing this pretending, you know, like he's back in his youth. This is, I get more of the vibe from these two, rather than the previous couple, who I believe just did it as like a comfort thing and because it brought them closer together. This doesn't seem the vibe with, you know, Sean and Lana. Oh, he's making the noises as well, man. Right, it's alright. Don't need the review, mate.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at your face.
Yeah, he's a handsome fella.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, why are they showing childhood photos of him? Are they trying to insinuate that he wants to, you know, act like a child again? Like, why else would they show this?
As an adult, now I kind of have theories as to why I'm so drawn to the A&R and the nursing, because I didn't get that, because I was immediately given up for an adoption, and then I was in a facility. So I wasn't fed as a baby.
That's interesting, because obviously he's justifying it in that way that he's never had it as a child. But, you know, TMI, I don't think that I was as a child, and I don't, you know, lust for that now. I see, that seems like I actually don't, I genuinely don't. But I definitely think it could be more of an emotional thing. Like, I think it's a thing of wanting to be, you know, comforted and, you know, feel like you're really connected to someone, and obviously he doesn't feel like he might have a motherly presence in his life, and he kind of seeks that relationship from his partner as well as, you know, the partner relationship. This is what it kind of seems like here. So this is why I don't think this is actually like a sexual thing. I genuinely think it's more of an emotional, you know, reason why these two do it.
I don't try to pretend that she's my mother. She doesn't try to pretend that I'm her son. It's about being nurtured. It's about being held. It's about completely giving myself over to that, and just that absolute feeling of being taken care of.
What happens if they're out in public though? You know, like at a restaurant, and he's like, I'm like proper thirsty. I'm literally like proper thirsty. Like, what is gonna happen now? Do they just have to wait? Do they like what happened? Can he drink normal milk? That's what I want to know. Like, surely he does drink no, like in coffee and stuff, I imagine. Hopefully. I just worry for both of them, because clearly this is a thing that he really wants to do. I just wonder if Button really wants to do it too.
I feel more close to him now than I feel during any other time. You know, this is incredibly intimate.
You know what I'm like? I always see things from people's point of view, and I don't like take the out of people, like, you know, fully. Okay, but this right here is just a really funny. It's just the way he's kind of sitting, just. I think it's just the angle. Can you imagine if you went on a double date, you know, with this couple, and then they were like, oh, do you want to come back to ours for a couple of drinks? And you're like, oh, they've probably got stuff in the fridge. And then, like, you know, Tip is just, you know, he's got his own drink, hasn't he, from Button, obviously. You know, if a mom is feeding the baby, like, I don't feel awkward around it or nothing, you know, that's just, you know, that's natural, right? Like, I'm not saying this is natural. I'm getting myself in tongue twisters here. I don't feel uncomfortable because, you know, that's a thing that happens. But this would just throw me off if I was on the other sofa. I just would feel uncomfortable. And I don't know why. If I'm just watching a movie and I go, it'd be something that I'd be looking at, and I'd not want to look, but then I can't not look. I'm like, it's stuck between two. It's like a rock and a hard place, choosing between two people to steal your wife.
Tip will breastfeed 3 to 5 times a day, generally before work, after work, before bed, when we wake up.
To any women in the comments that have fed before, could you just let me know, is this taxing on you and your body? Like, does this make you feel, I guess, exhausted, or, you know, body parts exhausted, or is this just a thing that you can just like do and it doesn't really, you know, kind of impact your energy levels or anything? Because like 5 times a day, that seems a lot, especially as an adult, you know. I think once is quite a lot.
I used to be a teacher, which was a job I really loved. It was so rewarding. I love children.
Could you imagine like finding out that your old teacher now does this? Like, imagine you had a maths teacher and then you find out they now posted this. Everyone would be like, what? Is that actually real?
Sean's hoping with enough hard work and his skills from his previous vocation, they can become a power couple.
Sean's hoping if he can just take in enough breast milk, one day he can complete all the monkey bars. One day he can reach the other side without touching the ground.
She always wanted to be a porn star, and I really enjoyed acting in the past, so I just wanted to connect two things that I really enjoy.
Yeah, okay. We all know why you do it, just for that. All right. So this makes me think that the breastfeeding part of it is done more. It's definitely done more for like a thing, right? Like, surely with these two, I feel like Tip and Button have came on this documentary to kind of actually talk about, you know, their life and how this thing has helped them, you know, get closer together. Whereas I feel like these two possibly have came on here for a little bit of promotion.
So me and Sean made a hot video today of some adult feeding.
Look at the cat. The cat can't even look, man. The cat's turned its back to Lana. The cat's like, I'm not watching you do this, mum. Right? I'll watch you do anything. I'll watch you take a shit, but not this. Oh, you haven't got my back with this, love. You've got me back. Right, that's what you've got.
Their move into the Milky Market has already proven popular.
The Milky Market? Sorry? The Milky Market? Oh, well, gonna have to put some stocks and shares in a NISA for that one. Gonna invest in the Milky Market tomorrow. These stocks are about to go right up. The Milky Market. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this, by the way? Do you think, like, their story is, like, you know, are you in the camp of they're not hurting anybody, so that's completely fair and just, you know, get your bags? Or are you in the camp that, you know, it's you don't really agree with this and you think it's a little bit odd that they're making something that a baby does with their mother into a, you know, thing? Let me know. I'm interested.
With a rapidly growing fan base of over 15,000 fans, they've called in social media marketing manager Danny.
Sorry, £15,000. Like paying people. 15,000. So I don't know how much it is, right? But let's say, I don't know, let's just say it's a fiver. 15,000 times by 5. What's that? Like £75,000? Is it? Please say it is. A month? What? That is absolutely crazy. They probably charge more than that as well, right? I was just being modest there.
People willing for us to travel to them, and like they'll pay for everything and have us stay over, just because like they cannot find this niche easily in any other place.
What, so they're gonna pay for your flights, pay for everything, just so you can do what you do in front of them? Like they want like a live show. What? Like someone just booking out Drake to do a music concert just for them? Like what? That is crazy. Genuinely, that is crazy. What are the comments saying? Okay, let me see this. Looking at this from a psychological standpoint, these men probably find a nurturing relationship, and while it's separate from the relationship, they are still interconnected. As adults, we still have voids that are empty from childhood. Now that is a very interesting kind of standpoint, and that is kind of the way that I have been trying to look at it. I definitely think with Button and Tip, that definitely was the reason why. Like genuinely, them two clearly loved each other, and this wasn't really a thing. It was just used to kind of bring them closer together, and they found comfort in it, and they're not really hurting anyone. I definitely think there is trauma and experiences that they've been through that have kind of made this the thing that brings them comfort, but they seem like they're both, you know, consenting adults, so I don't really have an issue with it. Some people are saying, as a woman, I always found the idea of breastfeeding my man very beautiful. It is a closeness and intimacy which is rarely experienced together. Unfortunately, my ex-partners were not very interested in so far. And then the first comment back, obviously, is, can I help you? Insta, she's not looking for volunteers, okay? This is not the Hunger Games. You can't volunteer yourself. A lot of people are actually agreeing with this and saying that it's like a good thing, and they don't understand why people kind of, you know, look down on it. Breastfeeding your boyfriend is actually so cute. People love this. This isn't a niche. This is a huge growing market.
Let's talk about how you first met, because this was on a vegan a dating website, wasn't it? So you said from the moment that you kind of met each other online, you had this very deep connection.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's on a vegan dating website. Milk is considered vegan.
I'd always felt secure and more womanly with my milk. And I realised that if Sean helped me by suckling, then it would bring the milk back faster. But then it was something we just realised that we enjoyed together, and it brought us closer together.
Did you see when she was saying that? Look at Sean's mouth when she's describing this.
And it brought us closer together.
Brother can't contain himself, man. He finds Lana, his partner, irresistible. This is the magic formula.
You'd seen photos of her when she was pregnant, and you thought she looked particularly good in those photos.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear you here.
He was like, yeah, I don't like that question. He was like, yeah, I'm literally not going to say that again. I said it once, and I'm not repeating myself. Yes, I did.
I looked very natural, and I suppose you have the pregnancy glow, so he was really attracted to that photo.
So could you ask Sean then, in that case, what were his thoughts when you started to do this?
He's back. He's conveniently, he's back after, you know, the awkward question. The only time they asked him a question, he was kind of, you know, hard of hearing for some reason. I do really hope that Lana seems happy, because she kind of like doesn't look too happy in this interview. I don't know if like something has happened before this interview. I know like going on this morning probably isn't the most pleasant experience, because they're kind of getting you on just to take the out of you a little bit. But she said various things like, you know, Sean likes her when she's pregnant. He likes her when she's, you know, more natural without makeup. And clearly, you know, she obviously doesn't wear as much makeup as what she used to. I hope that she's doing this for her as well as him. You know, like I hope she knows that Sean would still be attracted to her if she did what she wanted to do. She doesn't have to, you know, like be totally, you know, just accustomed to whatever he wants.
There are those that are saying that you're actually sexualizing feeding, and that you're sort of fueling the stigma against feeding in public, because it is.
Yeah, I know where they're coming from, but I think that it doesn't sexualize breastfeeding because, in general, the breasts of a woman have always been sexualized, and that's why we keep them covered up most of the time. I think that breastfeeding in public is much more accepted now in the UK than it ever was before. And when I breastfed my 2 children, I always did it in public, and I never had any negative comments or.
Yeah, I do totally agree with like what she's saying, but it's a total different thing feeding your children in public and then breastfeeding Sean. Like I said earlier, like as a joke, if you're in a restaurant and Sean's like, oh, you know, like I don't know, I'm thirsty or whatever you would say. I don't know what the call is. People are going to feel uncomfortable, aren't they? Like in public if they did this, because it's seen as a sexual thing. But it's not seen as a thing when you do it with your babies. Going into this video, I was thinking this was going to be more light-hearted in terms of we'd just have a laugh at, we'd like see things from the point of views and stuff, but this has actually got deep pretty quickly, and I'm just kind of trying to understand why so many people seem to have such an attachment to this. I wonder if it is because like people just kind of want to feel like wanted, and I guess that is a mechanism to kind of achieve that for both sides. Some of the comments on this interview are kind of worrying though, in my opinion. Thank you. This video helped me to think that it's okay to be different. I'm a 17-year-old boy, and I've had a breastfeeding fetish since I was 11, alright? 11? I'm not trying to shame anyone here, but I definitely think there's a line with this. Like, that kind of comment kind of worries me just for that person's mental health in terms of, like, why were they even thinking about breastfeeding or breasts in general at 11 in a way. So it seems like everybody has an opinion on this, but not everyone has the same opinion. Like, there's just so many opinions, so I'm gonna be intrigued to see what the comment section looks on this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed my coverage of this. I'm kind of thinking of covering more mini documentaries. Let me know if there is any that you want me to cover. I just find them so interesting, and we kind of learn together about, you know, people that you wouldn't necessarily, you know, come across in, you know, your everyday life. It's interesting. Also, drop a like on this video, donut, to just let me know that you want more of these, and if you want to watch another video from me that is similar to this one, click this video right here. You see this one in all its glory? It's very beautiful, isn't it? I would click it.
Kirkham, baby.
I breastfeed my boyfriend as foreplay, okay? Okay, there, I said it. You wanted to hear us say it, I said it.